Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're diving into two of the most common mistakes beginner pianists make and how to avoid them. So the first one I want to talk about is that when you start to play the piano, it's very easy to play too fast, and it's very tempting to play fast because you want to play at the original speed, but to practice it without introducing mistakes, then it can be beneficial to you to practice at a slow speed. So this is advice for both absolute beginners to absolute piano virtuosi, because when a super experienced piano player wants to learn a new song, they have done this, of course, a million of times. They know what to do, and to practice this complex new piece, they practice at a slow speed. So one of the biggest pitfalls for beginners is playing too fast, too soon. And I understand it's tempting to play, to try and play at the original tempo, but slowing down is actually the key of the process. When you slow down, you give your muscles time to develop proper memory, and your brain has the space to absorb what you're learning. So take a deep breath, relax, and focus on precision over speed. Let me give an example of that. If I try to play, for example, the red color block, and I am playing it like this, and you're seeing that and you want to play it like that, you can introduce mistakes, or maybe it's like the example that I always say is, when you go to the gym, you don't want to start with 100 kilos or 200 pounds. So lifting your weight too early, too heavy, it can introduce injuries. And that's what we want to prevent. So really practice at an embarrassing slow speed. Or even slower, to keep note length consistent. It's actually challenging to keep note length consistent at a slow speed, because you really need to count. So what can help with this is a metronome that plays 4 beats before you play the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So another mistake is starting with the right hand. I think that's a mistake, and almost every traditional piano lesson starts with the right hand, which I think is the wrong hand. So I start with the left hand. No, I started years ago with the right hand as well, but I think you should start with the left hand, because the left hand is the foundation of your music. So if I play, for example, the same thing in the lower register of the piano, in a higher register of the piano, let me give an example. Or, this sounds very thin, but this sounds very proud and very warm and very welcome. So we can make the conclusion that the lower register of the piano is the foundation of music. When you're looking at a band who doesn't have a bass player, the bass player with the 4-string guitar, I cannot say guitar, but the bass guitar, you're missing the body of the song. Something like that. So it's important to realize that in music, what our human ears like, has been developed over more than 10,000 years. And you can dive deeper into the nature and overtones and all that kind of things, but I just want to draw a very quick conclusion that when you play this chord in the lower register compared to here, it sounds kind of thin and it misses body. So the color block method that I came up with, start with the left hand, and it creates the foundation of your music. When you're building a house, you also start with the foundation of your house before building the roof, or starting with decorations, or like adding the melody. So you start with the foundations, with the walls, and then you can later add furniture and a door and a nice window with decorations. So I just wanted to highlight two mistakes. So many students are eager to jump into melodies, but the left hand is actually like I said, the foundation of music. By strengthening your left hand technique early on, you will build a better coordination and control, making everything else easier in the long run, I think. Another pitfall, I would say, that beginners face is when you play the left hand individually and later the right hand individually. They sound good individually, but when you start playing them together, it's actually hard to combine the both hands. This happens to everybody. This happens to anyone who learns to play the piano. And it's very logical, because in your left hand, you play a certain rhythm. If you are reading from sheet music, or if you are learning from beginner piano books, you're playing a different rhythm than in your right hand. And that's like skipping a step in the brain, where you can still help your brain to play smoothly at level 1. So to give an example, you might learn this song as a beginner. Something like that. And in your right hand you play a certain rhythm, and in your left hand you play a certain rhythm, and your brain is dealing with two things at the same time. What I prefer to teach beginners, or people who maybe had played the piano 20 years ago, it really helps the brain, and I really notice that with everybody, that if the rhythm in both hands are the same, your brain is only doing one rhythm task at the same time, rather than 2 rhythm tasks at the same time. Let me give an example. So the color blocks are just 8 notes that just circulate, right? Every note is 1 count, 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you do it double time, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But let's do it half time for now, because it's easier to understand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the right hand, I have also 3 patterns. For example, the large pattern, the medium pattern, and the small pattern. By the way, side note, I am using these terms, large, medium, and small, to connect that with something that every human understands. So these are clothing sizes, and the left hand are colors. I wanted to distinguish them so it's easier for us to remember them. And also the large block in the large pattern, the large block, is also exactly similar as one of the color blocks. So I try to connect all these things while also remaining simplicity. Yeah, so if I play the red block and I play the large block in my right hand, the rhythm is exactly the same in both hands. Let me give an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I mean that the rhythm is exactly the same in both hands is that in every beat, both hands play 1 note. And when you understand that, when you practice that, and when you start to play it, you can extend it by changing the start position from your left hand, and maybe change the start position of your right hand. But let's remain the right hand on the same location, and let's change the start position of my left hand. So I play exactly the same pattern, but from a different start position. Let me give an example of that. So this thing allows you to play for as long as you want. Because you can play this like unlimitedly. And it almost sounds like film music. So the color blocks you can learn in 1 day. And these patterns you can learn in 1 day, but to add emotion like speeds and dynamics is requiring some training. But yeah, I definitely think that you can learn this group of notes in 1 day. So another advantage of this is that whenever you feel upset or down or depressed or something like that, or you had a fight with someone, yeah, I'm speaking from my own experience. Like when I feel upset, and yeah, you just sit behind the piano and just let it flow, and the piano absorbs your frustration, your emotion. Luckily this doesn't happen a lot, but of course everybody gets this many times in life. So you just sit and play. And you can even let the notes represent your frustration. Or when you feel more happy. And they live happily ever after. So, yeah, I hope this was valuable to you. It turned out a little bit more talking beyond the 2 mistakes, but I think if you follow these tips, you can be an amazing piano player. And if you struggle with reading from sheet music like me, then I think it would be great to work together and help you to become a better piano player. So if you like this video, you can subscribe to the channel or like the video. And if you want to have a more personalized journey for your piano playing, you can join our community of other piano players through the link below. And I hope to see you there. And happy studying, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.